Okay, hello everyone. My name is Alan Ferrandis, co-founder of Core Analitica, and today I have the pleasure to be with one of the persons I admire the most in the technology industry. His name is Raul Balbuena. Raul Balbuena it's an Azure architect in Microsoft who specializes in AI and analytics. He's got around 35 years of experience, okay, and he also specializes in open source software. Hello, Raul. How are you?
Hello, Alan. First of all, thanks for inviting me to these sessions. My name is Raul Balbuena. I live in Peru. I am data architect from Microsoft. I have 23 years of Microsoft, but I have experience, 35 years of experience because before Microsoft, I work in two big company. One was Centro in Peru, a mining company, and another one was a famous store in Peru, like a Walmart. I would like to give you all of a story about the great journey from SQL Server until Microsoft Fabric.
Yes, thank you, Raul. Honestly, I admire Raul a lot. He was the first person that I heard talking about SQL Server. So it was like in 2002, 2001, and I think that after hearing his talk in an event, in a Microsoft event, I think I fell in love with the technology, with his passion for data. And all over these years, Raul has been a key part in Microsoft Peru, in the development and in the development of the technology with clients, with Azure, with all the steps that all the evolution of the data platform in the Microsoft technologies. Okay, so today's webinar is called Evolution of Data and Analytics in the Microsoft Platform, from SQL Server to Microsoft Fabric. So there's a long journey, okay, since the beginning of data platforms. We are talking about databases, relational databases, specifically
Yeah.
SQL Server. Raul is probably one of the pioneers in Peru and in the region with SQL Server, and he keeps being one of the key professionals, the most respected professionals in the region in now in the data analytics platform, meaning AI and Microsoft Fabric. So Raul is going to tell us about his experience with the platform and actually the evolution. He's got a lot of experience. So, who's better than Raul to tell us everything about this long journey that the technology has come? Okay, so we're going to start with SQL Server. Okay, the first time I saw SQL Server, it was like in the 90s. So it was like Raul. He was working with data warehouses in the 90s. That's right.
1994.
Yes, 1994.
30 years ago.
30 years ago. Wow. Okay. So his experience goes from relational databases, data warehouses, and now is a Microsoft platform, Microsoft Fabric, AI. So let's start with SQL Server. SQL Server is a relational database that Microsoft introduced in the 80s, in the 90s. Okay, so Raul is going
Yes.
to tell us about that. So, can you tell us a little bit about the earlier versions of SQL Server? Like SQL 4.2, 6.0,
Yes.
6.5, and 7.0. Maybe many people that is hearing this webinar doesn't know about these versions. Okay, these versions actually lay the foundation for more complex data management in later versions. Can you tell us about those these first versions of the product?
Okay, okay, well, thank you. Well, you mentioned the genesis of SQL Server, okay? SQL Server 4.2, it was born in 1992, okay? It was the first one of the first version of SQL Server, and this database works with Windows NT. Remember Windows NT?
Yes, network technology. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, well, this version was simple. Okay, was simple. I remember that it had two tools. One tools was Enterprise Manager, that you could manage all of the database, and the another tool was Query Analyzer,
Yes,
that
I
you
remember.
try to write your query, not brought your query and try to see the results. Okay, well, SQL Server 42 started in 1992, and I started working one in 1994, and I need to migrate from databases like a Foxbase, remember?
Wow.
Foxbase. I don't remember the another database, but we needed to migrate to Windows and to SQL Server. We started the migration in A1, A1 stores,
Hmm.
and well, I had to deep to access very deep bit and bytes in SQL Server. I learned a lot in this case. Well, but one point is, in one, we were the first company that used SQL Server 4.2 in production environments. No in
It
development,
was in what
no
year?
in production environment, in 1994, 30 years ago.
Wow.
Then, well, avoid all of the problems because concurrency, scalability. Okay, it was a great experience. When the the next release of SQL Server appears like a SQL Server 6.0, it was in 1995. But SQL Server 6.0 had enterprise-ready features. Wow. Then we need to migrate to this version. And this version has a great feature like a basic replication. Basic replication between source and targets, and the data was replicated easily. Well, but after that, we had another version of SQL Server 6.5, that wow, it has a feature like a parallel query processing, automatic recovery, dynamic looking, sorry. And with these versions, we started to work in better way in the productive environments. But in 1998, I remember that I was in the first course about OLAP. What is the OLAP? Online Analytic Process. The first stone to build the data warehouse, the data mart. I went to this course in Seattle, and I remember that in the same class I was with Ken England. Ken England wrote a book about SQL Server. For me, what wow! But I started to learn how works in data marts, data warehouse, and I built with my team the first data warehouse in Peru in Tiendas One. But I want to be confident with you, because remember that this version had a example of data marts. Okay, the example of this data mart was Food Mart, and Food
Wow.
Mart, the model of format was about it was about a store that's like a Walmart, like a one. I took this data model, and I started to migrate the data, and I built the first data warehouse in Peru on base the Food Mart data model. It was
From
my
that
experience.
database, the Microsoft.
Microsoft,
Wow.
yes.
That was in 1998.
1998 with SQL Server 7.0.
Wow. Okay, so I was in high school still. Okay, and you were already working with databases, with actually data marts. Okay, so these versions, until 7.0, okay, they were the first versions of SQL Server. Okay, now data marts were, as seen, were not that popular. Okay, but they exist. Okay, so let's talk about the next decade. For example, what key innovations do you remember in the later versions of SQL Server? For example, SQL Server 2000, SQL Server 2005, which mark a stepping stone in the technology. SQL Server
Yes,
2005, 2008, 2012. Okay,
yes,
bring to improve the management of data. I mean, high availability, and incremental security. What do you remember these versions of SQL brought
yes.
to the market?
SQL 2000 broke the market in database. SQL 2000 had features like XML data types and XML support. Wow, a new type of data type. Then this is the beginning that, for me, it's the beginning that you started to work with unstructured data or
Unstructured
different.
data, XML data.
Yes, yes. It's the
Yes.
beginning. It's the beginning. It's the genesis. Okay, that's in SQL 2000. You could work with index views. Okay, but with these views, you can store the results of the information and try to enhance the query processing.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember it was
a great
materialized
great
view.
feature.
Materialized views, I
Yes,
remember. Yes, indexed
yes,
views.
yes, yes.
Yes.
User definition functions as another feature, and federate database service. Then, after SQL 2000, start, for me, the beginning of start to, okay, I am going to have another tools, another features that maybe you can integrate with another platforms. Then in SQL 2005, it started with SQL Server DTS, the integration services. DTS is the
That
first
data transformation services, I remember.
data
Yes.
transformation services.
Wow.
Is
Yeah.
you started to work, okay, wow, the ETL process, okay, and this transformation and loading. The DTS was excellent tools to migrate data or to bring data from another platform or from different sources. Another point in SQL 2005 was reporting services.
I remember.
Reporting services was another component, separate component that you can use to make a lot of reports. You could start to hear about or to listen about dashboards. What is dashboards? Dashboards started with reporting services in this case. The one point that started in SQL 7.0 and 2000 was SQL Server Analysis Services. With SQL Server Analysis Services, introduced OLAP and data mining capabilities. Wow, that you can combine information, aggregate information from different source in one data warehouse, and you can see the information on data warehouse on analysis services with the famous cubes, and you can work with cubes. Your front end was Excel. You with Excel access to the cube, and wow, you have a lot of information aggregate that give you more potential, more productivity to do a query in the database, because remember, the query in database maybe had a problems in performance, but in the cube all this information was aggregate, and the result was very quick to get.
Yes, well, it was a product specifically targeted to manage dimensional data, to specifically to
Dimensional.
manage not relational, not transactional, but dimensional data. I still remember. I remember I started working with analysis service, SQL Server analysis services. I remember it was like a trifecta. It was SQL Server analysis services, SQL Server reporting services, and SQL Server integration services. I remember these
Yes,
three
the first
services.
component is more database, but
Yes.
the engine, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
apart
in
from the
SQL,
database engine, yes, I remember.
in SQL Server 2008, okay, keeps all of the new features from SQL 2005, but introduce data compression. Data compression.
Yeah,
Okay, what with that feature you reduce cost about stores. Good performance. Another about security, transparent data encryptions, because you start to think, okay, the data is move and the data is static. You need to protect all the information in every moment. Then this feature, TD, transparent data encryptions, allow for the encryption of the entire database at the rest or moving. And another point is policy-based management. I remember policies-based management that gives you to the database administrator rules, okay, or policies across SQL Server, across all of the SQL servers that you have. And finally, it started with, wow, spatial data support, geographic data types. Then you, wow, that is the beginning of of the formation geospatial, maybe that ways that we use. It started
I remember that.
in SQL 2008.
I remember specifically, for example, the encryption capabilities. You can encrypt the whole database. In my case, I clearly remember I used column encryption, and I started. That's the way I understood what a key was. I remember I used keys, okay, to encrypt data. I didn't know what a key was. Okay, I mean, actually, I got introduced by the concept of security keys by SQL Server. I remember public key, private key. Those those
Okay,
those
yes.
terms were I learned these terms, security terms, thanks to the encryption capabilities of SQL Server. I think the SQL Server 2008. Good. So, uh,
Finally,
yep.
finally, SQL Server 2012. Okay, 2012 especially is focused on always on high availability. Remember always on availability groups that you can, okay, if you had a failure in the disk in the primary server, you can transfer quickly to the secondary server, okay, and works normally without issues. In SQL 2012, Microsoft thinks about availability, okay, about data quality services, okay, a good feature to cleaning the data, okay, to avoid the duplication information, uh, to improve data accuracy, for example. No? And finally, one point in SQL 2012 is Power View and Power Pivot. Okay,
Whoa.
this is the beginning of the Power BI.
Yes.
It's the beginning because you started with this with Power View that maybe wow, you could make a good dashboard, a good reports. The Power Pivot that wow, you can work with your data, transform the data, extract, transform, load very quickly, and wow, it started that you use with Excel on SharePoint
I,
in this part.
I remember the product called Performance Point. Yes, it was like 2015, 2014, something like that. That was one of the predecessors of Power BI, and I remember having worked with Power Pivot. I think 2013. Wow, there was a lot. I mean, you could not manage more than 1 million rows in Excel, so you needed to use Power Pivot if you wanted to manage more than 1 million rows in a spreadsheet. Okay, I remember clearly how.
Remember, yes, you're right. Remember that Excel has a limit of 1 million records, and with
Yes.
Power Pivot, you could use more than 1 million records, 100 millions of records, and you can okay get all the information and work with that with this data.
Good, good. Yes, I remember. Okay, what about, tell us about your experience, for example, with SQL Server. I mean, you introduced these products, okay, but what about SQL Server integration services, analysis services? How did how did it contribute to the development of data warehousing in your experience? What do you remember? What are your experience?
Yes.
Some
Yes.
anecdotes.
Okay. Yes. Well, integration services and analysis services was part of the data warehousing. It's part of the data warehousing, and integration services became the backbones. Okay, for enterprise ETL process. Well, it's enable organization to build complex workflows, okay, with integration services and integrate data with different systems like SAP, Salesforce, Oracle, and more. And integration service and data warehousing what work together because you remember that in data warehouse you have to load your fact and dimension tables, and
Yes.
you need integration services to load this table with data from different platforms. Then integration services was is a great tool to move information from another system to consolidate in one place.
Yes, I remember. I remember in the integrated services packages. I remember. This was
Yeah, the package, ETLs, the
yes,
package
ETLs.
master invoke another package, another package, and when maybe you have a hierarchy of package.
Yes, I remember. I mean, I worked for several years with this, and I mean, you could automate. I remember I used to work with these packages, and I remember I used a command line to automate these packages. I created the packages visually with the tool, then I exported the package, and then the DTSX extension, and
DTX
I remember
extension.
I used to automate these packages. I
But I remember that, for example, I remember in my experience in different projects that the customer wanted to migrate DTS to integration services.
Yes,
And yes, and well, at the beginning, there was not exist a tool to migrate directly. Okay, and maybe you have to make from scratch the new ETL in integration services, having the base of TTS. For example, I was in a project that I had to recreate, in integration services the most of DTS. Another point is a good point was that integration services could call DTS,
yes.
and this is the one is the way to hide in, okay, the part of the migration. But in the future you should migrate to integration services. But this is the how say this tripartite help to the customer to migrate, no, the DTS from integration
I
services.
mean, I bet that some of the packages I created in the past are still running. I'm pretty sure that some of the packages I created is still running like years after I created it. Okay, good. So let's go to
Analysis services. Remember,
analysis services. Let's talk about analysis services.
analysis. Well, remember that analysis services started with cubes. It started with multidimensional model. Okay, with multidimensional model. Remember dimensions, fact tables, and allow business to perform OLAP, no, online analytic process, creating cubes from large data sets. Is to make it possible to quickly slice and dice data across multiple dimensions. But after multidimensional appear SAS tabular, okay, because works in memory. That this analytic engines was a good point to self-service BI. Okay, it used the X velocity in memory technology, the tabular
The X
SAS
velocity
tabular.
is a engine of Power BI. I remember.
Yes, yes, excellent. And finally, data mining, no, with new data mining models. That was the beginning of machine learning.
One question about me. You have plenty of experience. One question that, and I'm coming up with this question in this moment. Okay, from your experience. Okay, what anecdote can you tell us about a project in Microsoft? Something that you can tell, obviously. Okay, that use SQL Server. I mean, now everything has evolved. Okay, But what interesting project do you remember from SQL Server? Something your experience, something that you can remember, something that might be funny or might be interesting for the people. Some project that you remember with SQL Server, maybe in your experience as a consultant.
Well, uh, SQL Server was a good database, okay? The last versions works very well in product environment, in big product environments. At the beginning, 6.0, 7.0, okay, maybe the conditions was that this database is not for productive environments, but from 2008 or 2012, 2012 to now, 2022, the SQL Server improved a lot with features that the people could work in product environment without issues. And the security is one of the fundamental point for Microsoft. The security is great point in all of the SQL Server. But with new features, for example, in the last SQL 2022, has, for example, connection with Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh,
you can store information in blob storage in Azure and try to connect to the on-premise database. That this is the beginning to, okay, in the future maybe this database will be moved quickly to the Azure SQL to Azure SQL database. Okay, we have a lot of tools that you can move quickly this information. Okay, for example, in Azure you have SQL Managed Instance, SQL Azure Database, another kind of SQL that you can move the information and you work in in cloud without problems, working with better way instead of on premises, for example.
good, good. I think that SQL Server is going to be present, no matter. No matter how many years will pass. Okay, I think people will still be using SQL Server. They will be still installing SQL Server in their boxes, in their laptops, to test or to do some specific small projects. I'm pretty sure that it will be present for years to come. I'm pretty sure about that.
But but I had a anecdote about this in one bank in the region. When now we are talking about consuming Azure, and
Yes.
consuming Azure has a cost.
Yes.
Okay, okay, but in on-premise sites, okay, the cost was licenses.
Yes.
Okay,
I remember.
and for example, in one bank, I did an auditory about how many SQL servers has the customer, no?
Installed
Had the
in
customer.
their.
How many SQL servers had the customer? And then, okay, four versions. Remember, developer, okay, SQL developer, SQL standard, and SQL enterprise.
Enterprise.
SQL enterprise was cost a lot, no?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but I remember that the customer started. You remember that you have to connect to the SQL, installing agents in the laptop,
Yes.
with the just. Okay, but for example, in this bank, the customer installed the agent of enterprise, SQL enterprise, and when you run a tool that, okay, tell me how many version of SQL has it, the solution that the customer had maybe 1,000 SQL Enterprise.
One
Wow,
thousand.
that yes, because the provider in this time installed in every in every laptop or every desktop of one SQL Enterprise to connect to the server on premise. Then
One
when
thousand.
1,000, the customer paid a lot of this licensing. When I did the auditory for that, wow, I remember I am my Microsoft and I have to tell the truth about that. I told the customer, you have been paying a lot of a lot of cost of licensing because someone installed in every laptop one SQL Enterprise to connect to the server. This is not good. And well, told to the Microsoft in term of my company, wow, look, and Microsoft trust me, okay, tell to the customer, and the customer. I became to the trust advisor to the customer because okay, the customer wanted to okay, thank you to tell me thank you for these points. No, this is one anecdote that maybe in another company could happen because
Yes, legal
uh,
problems, obviously.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yeah,
I mean that's a bad practice installing that's I mean
yes,
installing a
perfect
server
question.
in each client. That's not a good practice.
Yes, but it was common. It was common.
Yes, I mean yes, it was before because licensing was an issue. Now everything
Yes.
you pay to access something in the cloud. Okay, let's talk about your experience with the new platform
Wow.
with the cloud. Okay, I mean your anecdotes, your experiences is valuable. It's very valuable. I mean, I mean, I doubt that somebody in Peru or in the region has like a more experience with the data platform, okay, or anecdotes as you have. Okay, so how does Microsoft Fabric, okay, change the way that businesses manage and analyze data compared to earlier tools like SQL
Okay.
Server, for example, or other on-prem solutions? For example, what is your
Okay.
experience? What do you consider about the advantages that Microsoft Fabric has over these legacy tools? I mean, they're not legacy.
Yeah.
There are tools that are still there.
Okay. Well, Microsoft Fabric, okay, is a unified. The first thing is unified, integrate platform that goes beyond the traditional capability of SQL servers. Focus on modern cloud-first data management and analytics. All of those things that we talk about, ETL, report, analytics, all in one place. Okay, in Fabric. Uh, unlike SQL Server, which is most relational, Microsoft Fabric incorporates data lakes, real-time streaming data, machine learning, and business intelligence into a single platform. It offers a serverless architecture. Okay, it's SaaS, software as a services. And well, you should forget about infrastructure concerns. Okay, only business focus on data without needed to manage underlying hardware or scale manually. All is automatic. Okay, and this makes it possible to process vast amount of data from disparate sources without worrying about traditional service limitations. Okay, and the integration of data engineering, data science, and BI tool like Power BI. Power BI now is part of Microsoft Fabric. Okay, all within the same environment. Reduce the times to insight and improve collaboration between different teams working on data. And now, and in the future, AI-driven automation. Is AI, part of that Microsoft is working a lot in artificial intelligence, will be part of Fabric. Okay, helps improve that ingestion, transformation, and model building process.
Uh,
In Fabric, you will have all advanced analytic and artificial intelligence together.
what is a part that you like the most about Fabric? You mean you are a consultant, so you see Fabric frequently. What part do you like the most, or do you think is the most interesting for a client, for example?
For example, no, because you only want a one lake, like a virtual data lake, okay, that you can connect to different platform without move the data. This is a one point important. Without move the data. Remember that when you move the data, you have to have a control of the exit, or the success or failure of the movement of the data. control like a log, okay, to see success or failure, count the numbers in the origin and compare with the numbers, count the numbers on the target, a lot of things. If you use Microsoft Fabric with several features like shortcut, I am going to show the architecture of Microsoft Fabric. You connect directly to, for example, Amazon, to Google without to move data to Azure, for example.
Do you have a demo? You can do it later or now? Do you want to?
Yes, I am going to present first the
okay,
architecture.
let me prepare. Okay. Okay, so you can share the screen.
Okay, sorry. Can you share my screen?
Yes. Okay, yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, it's good or maybe. Okay, this is.
Yes, this is we are seeing the OneNote.
I am pointing in the presentation.
No,
note.
yes, you. No,
Yes.
No, this is a presentation. You want to share the browser, right?
Sorry.
We are seeing your presentation.
Yes. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Look. This is the Microsoft Fabric architecture. Okay. For example, you have data source in the bottom level.
Yes.
You can have a different source. For example, sales data from maybe a SQL database, campaign data from Snowflake, or information about customers from Microsoft Dataverse, or marketing or external data from blob storage or data lake store Gen 2, or maybe information from sensors, or maybe unstructured information from Twitter. Okay?
Yes.
Or different on-premise too. Okay. Then you have to integrate this information. For example, if you want to move data, maybe you can use notebooks in Spark, notebooks in Python, or notebooks in SQL. You have a different language to create a notebooks to move data or to transform information or to process data. You could create data pipelines to transform the data or data flow. But for example, you have the shortcut. The shortcut is a feature that you can connect the different source directly to the one lake. This is the one lake. The one lake is all in one lake is the place that virtual place that you can put all the information that you want to work. For example, you can create lakehouse to works with unstructured data, or maybe warehouse which works with relational database, or maybe it has data sets, different data sets to works, or maybe CustoDB. CustoDB is about a new kind of language, KQL, okay, that works with data. And in the part of serverless compute, you have Spark, PSQL, KQL, or analysis service to work with this data. And after that, finally, you work in data engineering part, is the part that you work in Lakehouse with a medallion architecture. Okay, use bronze, silver, and gold. Remember, bronze is the raw data. Silver is maybe to use data with try to combine with another data and works. For example, data science works a lot in the silver layer. And maybe gold layer is a layer that you can expose to information from the final users. You can use data factory with data pipeline, data warehouse, data science. Okay, real-time analytics. Remember, you work maybe with sensors and maybe with Event Hub, or maybe with another services. You can use this information to works to store in one lake and works with that. And Power BI. Power BI is part now of Microsoft, and you can work, for example, to work directly with the data, okay, without you load the data in memory, for example, or Copilot in Power BI. With Copilot is a good feature, or good tools, sorry, good tools that use the information, okay, that create dashboards, reports only with natural language. And you can use SQL points to use only transact to see the data, and newer real-time analytics Power BI report. This is the architect that Microsoft Fabric works in this moment. But if you remember SQL Server with the database, remember ETL, remember reports, remember streaming data, remember data mining,
Yes.
all in the past, all the information is consolidated in only one point, which is Microsoft Fabric.
Good. So this is the optimal architecture of how Microsoft Fabric, or the architecture that is Microsoft Fabric is proposing for the as a platform for companies, for businesses to be adopted, right?
Yes, but we add a feature from artificial intelligence to integrate this architecture with artificial intelligence that will be part of Microsoft Fabric 2 in the next version.
Good, good, interesting. What I love about that, I didn't know about shortcut. You just tell me about that. That's new for me. Interesting.
Yeah, shortcut is like a feature you can access to the data source without move the data. It's like, for example, BigQuery, or for example, Amazon. If you have a S3 information, you can connect with shortcuts, okay, and you use this information in queries with notebooks, with Spark or TSQL, or combining data from Lakehouse with this information, and get results, combining different platforms without move the data.
Good, interesting, interesting.
Yes. Yes, and I would like to show a demo.
Yes, of course. You're sharing the screen.
This is Microsoft Fabric. Can you see?
Yes, we are seeing.
Okay, this is the different parts, no? Different parts that you can use in Fabric. For example, Power BI, to no to build reports or dashboards. Data Factory to build pipelines with ETLs. Data Activator. This is a good tool to alert you about the data. Synapse Data Engineering, where you can create a lakehouse, okay? Synapse Data Science, you can use all of the feature about machine learning. Synapse Data Warehouse, you can go or works with relational data, and Synapse Real-Time Analytics, that you can work with streaming data. This is the different part of Microsoft Fabric. Okay.
Interesting.
For example, I would like to give you the context of this demo. The context of this demo is that, for example, a company has a problem with bounce rate. Remember, bounce rate is when you access to the web, for
Yes.
example, you don't find the product that you want to buy, or maybe the information is not interesting for you,
Yes.
and you you leave
The
you
website.
left the portal. Okay, this is named bounce rate, and the customer wants to know why the people left left their portal. Okay, this is the demo. But the point is that I am going to use Copilot in Power BI. Copilot works in Power BI that comes in Microsoft Fabric. Okay,
Hmm?
you only use Copilot with Power BI only in Fabric. I try to tell that truth. Okay, I want to use the Copilot Power BI. Okay, you have to use Fabric first, because
Great.
Power BI is a feature inside Fabric.
Great. Great. So,
Okay.
so I understand that Fabric is sorry, Copilot is present in Fabric, but there's like a limitation. You need to have like a tier, like a F6 tier. It's like it's not like a beginning tier. It's like an intermediate advanced tier. That was the only limitation I had. So you have to. Has to be like a like mid, like en mid or like enterprise level tier of Power BI. Other than that, like you can do anything you want with Copilot. That's the demos I saw about Copilot are like amazing.
Yes. For example, no, for example, I access to Synapse Data Engineering. Okay, this is another, this is the part of feature that you can use in Synapse Data Engineering. For example, I would like to create a lakehouse. You could create all of the lakehouse that you want. Okay, because remember, lakehouse use data, that unstructured data, okay, and combine with relational data, no problem. And you create the new lakehouse. Okay, lakehouse create, and when you create, you have a workspace. Workspace is the space that you work, and you can share this workspace with another people to work in the same data. You use lakehouse. This is my workspace, and I had a different kind of information. No, for example, lakehouse semantic model. It's important to work with reports or dashboards in Power BI. SQL analytics endpoints, lakehouse, not data pipelines. You have a lot of objects in my workspace, and I can share I can share my workspace with another people. Well, for example, is I access to one lakehouse, one of the objects, for example, Contoso Authors workspace, you can see the lineage of the data. You can, start with lakehouse, combined with information in data lake storage. Remember, look at Amazon S3. This information is connected with shortcuts. Okay, all the information could, for example, in Bronze Lakehouse, works or create a SQL analytic endpoint and create my semantic model about websites bounce rate. This website bounce rate could all the information that I need to create a semantic model. For example, what's a lakehouse, the blob storage, Amazon 3. I create this semantic model. If I access to the semantic model, I could create reports.
Yes.
I create reports. Okay. I am in the Power BI now. I am in the Power BI. Okay. And for example, if you see there is a button in Copilot.
Yes.
Here. Create Copilot. Okay. Welcome to Copilot. And in the Copilot, tell me, okay, start it. And for example, suggest create a report, suggest content for this report, create a page that show. And for example, what is my data sets? Behind, they recognize the semantic model and maybe tell you, okay, the data or all the information is about, for example, bounce rate. What is my data? What's in my data set? And this Copilot answer me. The data set provide value insight into the behavior and preference of website visitors, including their sentiment, generation, device type, and product preference. And all the information, recognize the information. Recognize the relation between entities.
And can it create like visuals in Power BI?
Yes. For example, I can tell, please create a bounce rate analytic report. Okay, illustrating bounce rate across different generations. Highlight total and successful product search across diverse device type and generational segments, while also examining total search categorized by sentiment and generations. Great.
Wow.
Create the information, about, some the products, search no matches, average of website bounce rate, sum of type product search, no, the average is between this divided this information. No matches, for example, for device types. Okay, los products that the people search, no matches by device type, mobile phone, laptop, tablet, by generation. For example, Millennium has a problem in bounce rate. For customer generation, for no match by customer generation, and for example, for customer sentiment. But what about, you can filter the information. For example, not happy sites. You can filter, like it works like in Power BI, in normal Power BI that you works always. Okay, and for example, what is the website? For example, this is important. I can write, what is the website bounce rate increasing and how to improve it? Please suggest me.
Yes.
In base of this information that you get, please suggest me how can improve how can improve, and then hit all. Okay. Yes. For example, no, several factors, no, could be contributed to an increase in the website
Wow.
bounce rate. Product user match, for example, no, and and Copilot gives you a link to see the information. For example, number one, okay, product user match, this is information. Device compatibility, okay, mobile user had a high number of unmatched product search. Customer sentiment.
Wow.
Addressing this issue could help improve, okay, enhance search engine, improve mobile experience, and most information.
Well, it's actually doing the data analysis, is automating the data analysis process.
Yes.
Yes, it's doing like most of the.
Sorry, but I am excited with this when I working with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. So it's the first time I see this in like in real, okay, in real time. But, I mean, this is actually automating much of the work of a data analyst. So
Yes.
data analysts, I mean, I'm pretty sure they will have a job, but they will have to do something else other than doing reports. They will have to do something that cannot be automated with Copilot. What do you think about that?
Yes, it's more the employee will become more productive. Okay, only okay, with this information you will save times to build reports. Okay, because Copilot will help you to build this report, and only you will analyze the information and maybe try to with this information try to create another kind of report or dashboard that help to the company to take decisions.
Yes, more time analyzing and less time like building this
Yes.
report. Good. I mean, this is awesome.
Yes.
This is awesome.
To finish, for example,
Yep.
this is for me is the best feature in Copilot Power BI. You could work with narrative. Copilot could narrative the information, the details of the information. There is a new visualization. Okay, the new visualization, the new icon is narrative. With the narrative, you can point in, for example, you mark this report, and you, okay, Copilot, summarize the data or give me an executive summary about this information. Okay, this point, provide an executive indicator important takeaways. Great, about this feature. He told me, okay, the data insight key metrics of running product search and user bounce rate across different customer generation. He started to narrative the reports.
Yeah, it's telling the actual story behind the numbers.
Yes.
Good, interesting. This is more than I was expecting.
Yes, and you can work and you can filter the information, and the narrative is aligned or synchronized with the information that you want to know more. And the last one is, okay, you can see all the information in English, but no, it's not only in English. You can use in different language. For example, this summary, please tell me or give me in Portuguese, and create, and all the information is in Portuguese or maybe in Spanish. Sorry.
Oh, good. What it is? Let me see. Language is in
Portuguese.
Portuguese, right?
Mhm.
Also, Oh yes, I just
And
see it
you
here.
can ask Copilot in different language. Don't matter about the language.
So I can ask them. I can ask Copilot in Spanish, for example.
Yes, 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 yes,
Oh,
yes.
it works. Good, good, interesting. So this is like a more inclusive.
But it was a demo that I wanted to show you.
Good, good, good. Awesome. I mean, I didn't know about the multi-language capabilities of Copilot. Awesome. I mean, that's something that will definitely be a tool, a resource tool for every developer or every data analyst in the future. That was amazing. Okay, I mean, this
Invite
is
me for another session. I am going to show you about artificial intelligence with fabrics.
actually
We
this
need
is
more
kind of
time. We need more
AI.
time.
This is kind of AI features of Fabric. I mean, I have seen some copilots features. This is, I mean, this the multi-language capability, the story behind the numbers, and the automatic report creation. I mean, this will be. I'm pretty sure soon will be like a everyday tool for every data analyst.
Mhm.
Microsoft is going to be automating much of the work that can be automated for a data analyst. Good. Let's talk about. I mean, a demonstration and did like this. It's like word a thousand words of explanation. Thank you for that, Raul. Okay, let's talk about now a specific tool like Power BI. Okay. What do you think about Power BI? How in your opinion, how Power BI enhances the data visualization, how enhances the reporting capabilities for company. Tell us. I would like to hear about your experience, maybe with a client, maybe with in a company as a consultant. What do you think
Yes.
is the
Well,
biggest contribution of Power BI?
yes. Remember that in the reports that from Gartner,
Yeah,
Power BI
it's a
is
leader.
the top, is a leader. But since 10 years ago, is a leader. Power BI, okay, is very easy to learn. It's easy to work with that. Power BI has, for example, provide extensive library of charts, charts, graphs, and interactive visual that allow users to create dashboards for executive reporting. This is amazing. It's incredible how easy you create dashboards. With you use self-analysis, self-service analytics with Power BI too. Okay, with Power Query. With Power Query works inside Power BI, and you know that users can load, transform, and model data from multiple sources with little or no coding. Remember, no code and low code is the future, and Power BI has this feature. And well, this enable business analysts to perform data profiling and transformation, create, calculate measures and KPIs using DAX. DAX is like language that you can use in formulas in Power BI, with columns.
Yes, it's
And
like
wow,
Excel
with DAX,
Formulas 2.0. It's like a more advanced Excel
yes,
Formulas language.
data analysis expression, and easily connect to data source like Excel, SharePoint, SQL Server, and different multi-platform clouds. Okay, you can con Power BI, you can directly use connect to the BigQuery or connect to Amazon S3 and works and show the data.
What
Um,
oh, oh no, what
no,
experience do you remember in a client, for example, that's something that interesting that you tell us about Power BI? Maybe the adoption, maybe a solution that a client found using Power BI.
yes, for example, but the customer want to use Power BI because they recognize all of the features that Power BI offers. And for example, one point is to migrate, for example, from reporting services to Power BI, or because the most of the people or the most of the customer has reporting services like a platform for reports. But with Power BI, okay, you can distribute all of the report or dashboard in your company. Another point is that, for example, to connect from Power BI has a lot of connectors and connect to the different multi-platform. It is easy. The customer wants or try to not to don't move information from the source to target. This is the concept. Please don't move because they don't want to have duplicate data for costs. They need, okay, with Power BI connect directly to the information. Okay, but now with Microsoft Fabric in Power BI inside Microsoft Fabric and shortcuts, that this feature that connects multi-platform, for example, the information that we have in one lake, okay, in one lake, for example, from an structure relational, you can combine with shortcuts with a different multi-platform in the source, and but we don't move the data. This is a good point. This is an excellent point that Power BI and Fabric offers.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
that yes, because the customer they don't have the customer don't want to have duplicate data in different parts. They want only in one part, no more. Okay, just Power BI and Fabric connect to this part and try to combine with shortcuts on with data in another platform, try to combine with queries and get results from this information. No?
Do you see clients, in your experience, do you see clients like choosing Power BI over different other
Tableau or
reporting tools?
maybe ClickView. The another tools is Tableau and ClickView. Okay, but the custom but Power BI. Remember that every month Power BI show the new features. That's why, because there is a community of developers in Power BI that suggest to the Microsoft why Power BI why don't Power BI work this way? Why don't Power BI have this feature? And that Microsoft gets this information from communities and try to release these features in the every month. You know that every month Power BI
There's an update.
show updates. But what these updates comes from the community of developers of Power BI.
Good. You mean definitely Power BI for some reason, for a reason, is the leader in data analytics according to the Gartner quadrant.
And one point, sorry, Alan.
Yep.
And one point is AI powered insights. Remember, I show a demo with Copilot, but Power BI offer artificial intelligence driven features such as QA natural language query. You could see this with my demo. A smart narrative. Remember that I click in this in one report and with Copilot, please give me narrative of this information. And one point more is anomaly detections to spot outliers in datasets. Power BI is growing a lot with this feature.
Interesting. So, in your experience, you have a lot of experience with clients in the data field, the data analytics field. What do you think will be the future in the Microsoft platform? What's coming next in a Microsoft
Wow.
platform? According to your experience, something that you have seen that you see that clients are talking about, that Microsoft is talking about. What will be the future with the Microsoft Fabric?
Okay, yes. Remember that our Microsoft data platform will be is Fabric. Fabric will be maybe improved with new features. Okay, it's addresses with direction about in data analytics, artificial intelligence, automation, and real-time insight. This is a focus that Microsoft is working inside Microsoft Fabric. For example, one, deeper artificial intelligence and machine learning integration. This is the principal point that works. Wow. Why? Because Fabric will integrate pre-training and fine-tuning AI models. Remember that Microsoft has Azure AI, OpenAI.
Yes.
We works with models like GPT 4.0 or GPT 3.5 Turbo.
Mhm.
And this kind of model will be integrated inside the data pipelines in Fabric. This is the roadmap that Fabric will have soon. And another point is low code. Microsoft low code machine learning model creation. Low code. This is the point that Microsoft empower every user to work with these tools without acknowledgement in developing like a Python, like a Spark. Okay, you should have a few knowledge about that. But with low code is okay. Drag and drop. You will start work with drag and drop, and you will build
Applications
a good.
without writing code or so much code.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Another point is about natural language analytics. No, it says future developments may focus on conversational analytics. No, allowing users to query data in Power BI or Fabric using natural language. Remember that demo that I did. Okay. Another point is unified data governance and compliance. Okay, Microsoft is emphasis in governance, privacy, and compliance. Another point will works with real-time and streaming analytics. This is another point that we need to integrate with relational and structured data to combine to get all the information that company will have and get results from that. No, and unified streaming in Microsoft Fabric, for example, is one of points that we will have in our roadmap. And another point is streaming support in Power BI dashboard, real time. You will work in dashboard with real time, and this is important feature because okay, you will need your information in the moment. No needs to work in batch wait on batch mode.
Yeah.
Okay,
Real time.
depend maybe one day before. No, real time. And another point is that good point for me is try to automation and data ops for faster innovation. So it works in data pipeline with CI/CD integration, okay, in data pipelines. In Fabric, you will have maybe this feature soon, the continuous integration, continuous delivery, okay, to development, testing, and deployment data solution within Fabric. Multi-cloud and hybrid cloud support works with multi-cloud. Will focus on supporting data mobility and governance across Amazon, Google Cloud, and on-premise systems. This is our roadmap. And finally, works Microsoft ongoing research on quantum computing to be more powerful to have query optimization in data and works for complex data workloads. No?
Good, good.
The future comes with the future will come with new features. Okay, that's maybe wow, with data you will work, and maybe the sky is not a limit.
Good, good. Thank you, Raul, for your insights, for your knowledge, for sharing what your experience. Okay, is there some final message you would like to share with viewers? Okay.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity, Alan. I hope that it's not the last time that
It won't be.
that comes in your
In the webinar, yes.
your webinar. But all of the people who wanted to convert in data analytics in different platforms, in Microsoft, in Google, on Amazon, please don't forget to read every day, to learn every day, because you have all of the instruments, all of the tools that you can get this information quickly and in this moment, no? And try to be the unique person in your area. Okay, deeper inside to know what Fabric in case of Microsoft, or maybe in Google and the tools that works in Google, or maybe in Amazon, but try to deep to get this information, because that the artificial intelligence and data driven company is the future. Work artificial intelligence, please don't remember to study and to learn about generative AI, because generative AI is the future, and you can get good jobs in the future if you focus on generative AI, focus in data. That's data is the most important point, or the most important Jose is the most important.
Feel yes. Actually, the trend that analytics
Thank you for
AI
having.
it will
Yes,
be
yes.
crucial. Okay, not only for one company, but or sorry for one field, but it will be transversal. So every field, every
Now,
business sector will need to use data
now,
to improve.
now the muscle company is looking for a person who knows data science. This is point. This is and one of the jobs that will improve or will grow in the future very quickly.
Thank you, Raul, for sharing your knowledge and your expertise and your experience. Okay, where can we find you in the social networks? Maybe LinkedIn.
Yes, the LinkedIn. I write. I am. You can find me like a Raul Balbuena. And I try every day to post information about Fabric and generative AI. Okay, yeah, I have a TikTok about Microsoft
Brilliant.
Fabric that I can post every day information about Fabric.
Okay, what's the TikTok?
Microsoft Fabric.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Raul, for sharing your knowledge again. Okay, and it won't be the last time. I'm pretty sure we will do something again in the future, something together. Okay, thank you so much again, Raul, for your time, and thank you all for watching us today. Okay, it will be until the next time. Bye bye.
Bye.